past 4 years, Carwyn from Mumbles, Wales, has been a European pro surfing champion, and he's the only person born and raised in Europe to have done well on the ASP Tour. A regular party animal and exercise addict, Carwyn puts in 4 to 5 hours a day riding waves. For Carwyn, surfing is his life. All his friends have come from it, and it's made him internationally well known and respected, something his mother is very proud of. Carwyn's main goal right now is to win an ASP event. Carwyn really is a great ambassador for pro surfing, and just one example of the depth of talent we now have in our sport.
Carwyn, can we surf it?
Hey, Carwyn, wave's good. Come on in.
Come on, let's get in there. The doctors had told me I'd never surf again, and I'd had a second opinion, and I don't think I really believed them. At first I was just thinking, I'll get over this as quick as I can, and get back on. It's nice to be home, as it were. But then, as the boys weren't calling out to see me, I think it was sinking in more and more. I was basically trying to get back to fitness by August. Like, this was June, I crashed, and I was thinking to myself, quite seriously, that I was going to compete in August in France. And that was what was keeping me going, really. And then August came, and I slowly got more and more depressed. It really was quite traumatic for myself, because from when I was a young age, I always said that I was going to surf. And then I found myself 10 years later making a load of money out of surfing, and I never had to think about doing anything else. I mean, surfing was really my life, and it felt like I'd lost my life, and I found myself in this hole, and I couldn't see any way out of it. And I found it very hard to even get by, even live through day by day. And I honestly felt like the world was going to end for me.
We've been making surfboards for Carwyn for over 6 years. We've stuck by him, he's stuck by us. Loyalties are very important, I think, when it comes to sponsorship. Carwyn's the only surfer to have competed on the world circuit and did very well at the time when he was competing. He's the only one, so that's really good. He reached the stage where he was being sponsored insofar that he was being paid to go around the world. No one else has achieved that. Obviously, prior to the accident, he was going to be in the top 30. That's what he was looking for. That was his next aim, was top 30. And obviously, after that, it'd be top 16, and then, top 10, 5, whatever. The accident was, I would say, the end of his life. At that time, he was just devastated. I think we all were, really. One would have probably accepted it more if it had been a surfing accident. But to be in a car accident, on the road, going to a contest, just no way.
The friends stopped calling, And I think that maybe there was a lot of fault on Carwyn's part because he was bitter. was unhappy and a bit short-tempered, and I think he couldn't accept it, you know. I think after being on top of the world, all of a sudden he was down at the bottom and he couldn't quite get out of it for a while.
I really got into the alcohol badly because I felt comfortable when I was having, sips of alcohol. I'd lost my driving license, so I couldn't do any physiotherapy anymore. And I really sort of spiraled downhill for a long, long time. For many, many months, it was all a blur, you know. I didn't train, I didn't do anything. Christmas came and went, and it was definitely the worst Christmas I'd ever had in the whole of my life. I'd lost my friends, I'd lost my goals, I'd lost my ambitions, lost my dreams, and I'd lost my drive to actually be what I was before. Meeting John Fairclough really was a turning point. When he was telling me about the operation, and finally when he came around to do the operation, that was the first thing that told my head that I was actually doing something to get myself as back to normal as I could possibly get. And he told me that he'd got a surfing video out on hire to watch to see what strain went on the knees, and that's when he said that I needed the operation, and I thought, well, he had my full confidence from then on.
Initially, when we saw Carwyn, the problem was very similar to that which occurred with the footballer Paul Gascoigne. So what we had was a situation where Carwyn had a very unstable knee, a knee which was not fit for sporting activity, and obviously one whereby he would be in danger if he was in surf of the knee giving way. We had to reconstruct the knee in such a way that his knee would be stable and yet would allow him the flexibility to participate in his sport. What we did was we took a piece of the ligament from the front of the knee. Now this is called the patella ligament. It's a ligament which runs from the kneecap through to the shin bone. It's a very thick ligament which you can see at the front of your knee. Then we took a piece of plastic and rolled it up in that ligament to make the combination ligament stronger, a little bit like making a long sausage roll. And what you can see here is two white marks, and this is the drill hole we used to put the ligament through into the centre of the knee. We then wrapped the ligament around the back of the knee and stapled it into place and used a screw. Now these white pieces that you see here are the metalwork, the screw and the staple, used to stabilise the ligament. What happened with Carwyn was that he came to us with a very unstable knee, obviously a very promising athlete in his own right. Now the difficulty was that in his particular athletic pursuit of surfing, he has to not only have stability in his knee, but also has to be able to bend and straighten his knee. Now, that's difficult, but obviously because he's in very heavy surf, if his knee would give way, then it would put his life at risk. So we had to make sure that if we were going to stabilise the knee, that he had good function.
I was very shallowly into my mind that I really wanted to go back into surfing. I couldn't just do it and take off. It was going to be a long, 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 hard road. I cycled every day to the gym. I met my old school friend who I started surfing with, the actual person I started surfing with. So I trained 7 days a week practically for about 9 months. And then I thought I got back onto my feet, I got back onto my board, and I couldn't believe how I jumped up onto my feet and I just surfed, and I could surf, it wasn't just I was standing up and going along so much, I could actually do a few turns, and I thought, this is brilliant. And I just thought, well, if I can still read the waves as well as that, all I need is the equipment, my leg to be a bit stronger, and I should surf and get around the world again. How are we doing?
Oh, not so bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. I just had a surf.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so stoked, man.
Oh, excellent.
I'm so stoked.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, the boiler.
Really?
Yeah, it was classic, man.
How big is it now?
About that size, standing up and going along and everything,
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah,
How's the knee holding up?
It's okay. I got to wear a few braces,
Yeah.
but it's all right to get in there.
Excellent, excellent.
So I'm going to get back on form now, so I was wondering
Good.
if I could get some boards together.
Yeah, no problems, no
Super
problems.
good.
Yeah, we can sort that out. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to come back, definitely,
Yeah, let's do it now.
Back.
Let's get it. Let's go and have a chat and sort it out.
Lovely.
way, Carwyn, actually, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's doing all right in this.
Good, nice and stable.
Yeah, I was just thinking of starting surfing properly again now. If I can get the okay from you.
Well, I mean, that looks fine. I mean, you really have good stability all round. You have good quads development because they've come on an awful lot.
And that's it.
That's fine.
Thank you very much.
It's good, well done. When Carwyn arrived, he was very deficient in quads and hamstrings. And really what we've done is to re-educate the quadriceps, which the muscles come over the front of the thigh, and the hamstrings run the back, to stabilise the knee joint. And really here you see if the muscles are stabilised over the top, the anterior cruciate reconstruction, which has taken place then, works very, very well. And that's what's been achieved. And he's now safe to go back.
It'd be a make or break situation this year, I think, if he can prove to himself and get better, get back to where he was in surfing, then there's going to be a chance of him moving further on.